properties of, yes. So now let us discuss about the properties of arithmetic mean. Now before discussing the first property, let us have an example. So the example here is, let us take some observations. So the observations are like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. So these are the observations. So now in the given observations, first step, let me calculate arithmetic mean. So one thing what we have learned is to calculate arithmetic mean. So is it a raw data or discrete data or continuous data? That means it is a raw data in the nature. So in raw data, how to calculate arithmetic mean? Add all the observations divided by number of observations. So can you tell the arithmetic mean? What is the arithmetic mean? So add all the observations divided by number of observations, you will be getting the arithmetic mean. So in this case, the number of observations, if you add all, that is okay, 8.3 you are getting. Let us take a round number. Okay, let me take it as 20. Now can you calculate? You won't get 8.3. Okay, tell me the arithmetic mean. What is the arithmetic mean you get? So when I sum up, now when I sum up 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16 plus 17 plus 18 plus 19 plus 20, the total is 165. So 165 divided by number of observations is 165 divided by number of observation is 11. Therefore, the arithmetic mean here is 15. That is your step 1. Now let me do another thing here. Let me subtract each observation with the arithmetic mean. Let me subtract each observation with the arithmetic mean. So when I subtract each observation with the arithmetic mean, what are the observations you get? That is 10 minus 15. 10 minus 15 is minus 5. And the next observation is 11 minus 15, that is minus 4. And the next one is minus 3, and the next observation is minus 2, and the next observation is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these are the numbers you get. That is minus 4, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let me add all the observations. What is the total of the given numbers? You have new numbers. The new numbers are like minus 4 to plus 5. When I sum up all this, what is the total? The total is equals to 0. So by this, you can come to a conclusion that the property 1 says that sum of observations, sum of deviation of observations from the arithmetic mean is always 0. So let me repeat that. That is sum of deviation of observation, sum of deviation of observations from the arithmetic mean is always 0. Is always 0. That means here the first step is I have calculated the arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean was 15. Then we know deviation. Deviation means subtract the observations from the arithmetic mean. Let me subtract each observations. That is the step 2 what I have done. Subtract each observation from the arithmetic mean. By subtracting that, I got the observations as minus 5, minus 4, minus 3 to plus 5. Then the last step is sum. When I add up all that, that was equal to 0. So you can see this derivation, that is sum of deviation of the items from the arithmetic mean is always 0. You should remember this symbols and the canonical representation. The representation is nothing but summation x minus x bar is always equal to 0. This summation means sum. How to read this sum? And this x minus x bar is nothing but deviation of observation from the arithmetic mean is always equal to 0. So this is the property number 1. The property says whenever I subtract all the observation from the arithmetic mean and then sum up the new observation, that means it is always equal to 0. This one point which you should remember. This is the property number 1. Now instead of summing up now itself, let me square the numbers. That is, we have got the deviated numbers from arithmetic mean are like minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me square the given numbers. When I square it, what did you get? X minus arithmetic mean, the whole square. So whatever the deviated observations are there, let me square that. If I square, the values are, if I square, the values are equal to, what are the values? 25 minus 5, the square is 25. You will get a positive number. 16 and 19, then again 4, then again it is 1, then again it is 0, then again it is 4, again it is 9, 16, 25. These are the numbers you get. Now when I sum up all this, what is the total? When I sum up all this, what is the total? The total is equals to 110. That means here the next property is nothing but whenever the deviated observations are there, if you square the deviated observations and then if you sum up, that value will always be minimum. That value will always be minimum, or it might be nearing to 0. Minimum is nothing but 1 is let off. You should consider even that. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. So that value is minimum. That means it is not exactly equal to 0. Sometimes it might be exactly equal to 0 or more than 0. Therefore, that value is minimum in the nature. If you observe, if you add up all the observation, that sum was 165. But when you square, when you deviate, and then if you square that numbers, and when you add, that is less than that observation. That is total sum is 165. But here that sum is less than 165. Therefore, it is minimum in the nature. That is your property number 2. The sum of squared deviation from deviation of observation from the arithmetic mean is always minimum. The 2 points you should know. Whenever I find the deviation of observation from the arithmetic mean, and when you add up all that, that is always equal to 0. But when you deviate the observations, after deviation, if you square it and then when you sum it up, that is always minimum in the nature. These are the 2 important properties of arithmetic mean. Property number 1 and property number 2. Property number 1 says that is the sum of deviation of observation from the arithmetic mean is always dash. It is always what? It is always 0. Absolutely correct. So it is always 0. And the next property is the sum of squared deviation of observation from arithmetic mean is always dash. Is always, yes, it is always minimum. That is, it is not equal to 0. There is some value existing. Okay, this is your property number 2. Now let us discuss about property number 3. Okay, let us discuss property number 3. Now you should know certain point called change of origin. So what do you mean by change of origin? Let us discuss the next concept, that is change of origin, and the next one is change of scale. Now, what does change of origin means? Now, fundamental operations of mathematics is nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So under change of origin, we include two important things, that is addition or subtraction. So we include two important things, addition or subtraction. Okay. Under the next concept is change of scale. There we include two important concepts, that is multiplication or division. Now let me take some observation. So before discussing the third property, let me take some observations. The observations are like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So these are the observations. Now the arithmetic mean for the given observation is, what is the arithmetic mean for the given observation? It is raw data in the nature. Therefore, add all the observation divided by number of observation. What is the arithmetic mean you get? So add all the observation divided by number of observations, that is equal to 30. Yes, the arithmetic mean equals to 30. Now change of origin says that add a constant number or subtract a constant number for each observation. Add a constant number or subtract a constant number for each observation. So constant number means same number should be there. So what I'll do here is, let me write d is equals to x plus, let me add a constant number. Now can anybody tell any number? The first person, first preference always. First person, what he says, I'll consider that. So tell any number. Okay, 2. Okay, so let me add 2 for each observation. What are the new numbers you get? 10 plus 2, it is 12. Then 20 plus 2, it is 22. And 30 plus 2, it is 32. And 40 plus 2 is 42. And 50 plus 2 is 52. So the new observations are 12, 22, 32, 42, 52. Now let me calculate arithmetic mean for the new observation. So new observation are denoted as y, and let me calculate arithmetic mean for the new observation, that is 12 plus 22 plus 32 plus 42 plus 52 is equals to, what is the arithmetic mean? I'll directly tell the arithmetic mean as 32, but you do calculate, that is number of observations. Can you tell me the total observations? What is the total? Total is 160. 160 divided by 5, that is equals to 5 1s are 5 3s are 15, 1 remainder, again 5 2s are 32. So therefore it is 32. Now you can observe here the difference between old arithmetic mean and new arithmetic mean. Now because of adding 2 to each observation, your new arithmetic mean, whatever you have got, that is nothing but old arithmetic mean plus the constant number what you have added. Can I write like that? If you observe, old arithmetic mean was 30. Old arithmetic mean was 30 plus the constant number what I had added. What is the constant number which I added? The constant number which I added was 2. Therefore, your new arithmetic mean is equals to old arithmetic mean plus the constant number what you have added. That means here under change of origin, if I add a constant number or if I subtract a constant number for each observations, your new arithmetic mean will change. That means arithmetic mean is highly affected. Arithmetic mean is highly affected with change of origin. That means if I add a constant number or subtract a constant number, will your arithmetic mean be the same or will it vary? That means my arithmetic mean is varying. If I add plus 2 to each observation, your arithmetic mean was 30, earlier arithmetic mean, but new arithmetic mean is 32. That means is it same or is it changing? The arithmetic mean is changing. As arithmetic mean is changing, we will say that arithmetic mean is highly affected with change of origin. That is the property number 3. Arithmetic mean is highly affected with change of origin. I use the word called highly, not completely. Why I did not use the word called completely? Why? Because if I add 0, let me give another example. If I add 0, if I add 0 to the arithmetic mean, if I add 0, what are the new numbers you get? So the new numbers are x plus 0. What are the new numbers you get? You get the same numbers. 10 plus 0 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Same numbers you get. And the arithmetic mean will remain the same. For the same numbers, obviously arithmetic mean will be the same. Therefore, I can't use the word called completely. I need to use just 99% it is affected, 1% is not affected. At 1% is when I add 0 or when I subtract 0, your arithmetic mean remains the same. Therefore, here we use the word called highly affected. Therefore, the property number 3 is related to arithmetic mean is highly affected with change of origin. Change of origin means addition or subtraction. If I add a constant number or if I subtract a constant number, your arithmetic mean will start varying. It will not remain the same. What will be the new arithmetic mean in this question? The new arithmetic mean will be old arithmetic mean plus the constant number what you have added. Now the question what they can ask in the examination is if each observation is increased by 5, then what will be the effect towards the arithmetic mean? The question will be what will be the effect on the arithmetic mean? Option A, decreased by 5. Option B, increased by 5. Option C, 5 times the arithmetic mean, old arithmetic mean. Option D, it is divided by 5. Yes, it is increased by 5. If each observations are increased by 5, that means the constant number here 5 is being added continuously. Therefore, your new arithmetic mean will be old arithmetic mean plus the constant number. Therefore, it is increased by 5. So when the constant number 5 is added, all the observation will increase by 5. So this is your property number 3 with respect of change of origin. Now the next concept is change of scale. Now addition or subtraction is the respect of change of origin. That means which two are related to change of scale? So the with respect of change of scale, that is multiplication or division. So multiplication or division is respect of change of scale. That means the given observation are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, can anybody tell a number which to be multiplied or divided? Anything you can do. Let me do with the division. So can anybody tell a number so that I can take that x divided by that number? Let me divide each observation with that number. Okay, the first preference is okay, 5 I'll take because everything will get in proper way. So if I divide each observation with 5, so what are the numbers you get? 10 by 5 is 2. Similar way, 20 by 5 is 4. Similar way, 30 by 5 is 6. And the next number is 40 by 5 is 8. And the next number is 50 by 5 is 10. So the numbers you get is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What is the arithmetic mean you get? Arithmetic mean for the new number is absolutely it is 6. How do you get 6? By adding all the observation, divide by number of observation. Yes, by doing that you get 6. Or another way of solving the same problem is Another way of solving the same problem here is old arithmetic mean divided by the number what you have divided for each number. So old arithmetic mean is 30 divided by each number is divided by 5. Therefore, consider the constant number only. So the old arithmetic mean is 30 divided by 5. 30 divided by 5 is nothing but 6 in the nature. That means we can come to a conclusion that arithmetic mean also highly affected with the change of scale. That means here we can come to a conclusion here arithmetic mean is highly affected with both the change of origin as well as change of scale. So in both arithmetic mean starts changing. Now if I give an example, if each observations are being multiplied by 5, if each observations are multiplied by 5, that means what is your answer? Is it increased by 5? Your arithmetic mean will be decreased by 5, increased by 5, or 5 times the arithmetic mean, or divided by 5? 5 times. Times means into. So 5 into. So 5 times means 5 into. So your new arithmetic mean will be 5 times. So 5 into. So therefore times means multiplication only. Therefore option C is the right option. So this is your property number 4. And we can come to a conclusion. The conclusion is nothing but arithmetic mean is highly affected with both change of origin and change of scale. Okay. 1 minute. Is it clear with you all the properties? Okay. So by this, we've discussed the concepts of arithmetic mean. So 1 minute, please wait. So combined arithmetic mean we can calculate. Now observe this point. If each observations are increased or decreased by a constant number, that means your arithmetic mean will also be increased or decreased by the constant number. Similar way, if each observations are multiplied or divided by a constant number, then the arithmetic mean will also be multiplied or divided by the constant number. So these are the properties of arithmetic mean. And some advantages of arithmetic mean is it is simple and easy to calculate, and it is based on all the values, and it is mathematically proven also. But the disadvantage of this is like it is highly affected with extreme value, and it is not useful for qualitative data in the nature. That means here quantitative data, qualitative data. So quantitative data are those data which can be expressed in numbers. So qualitative data are those data which are not expressed in a number. So like beauty of a girl, can you express in numbers? Suppose you are sitting in the playground wherein five beautiful girls go, you will tell she's 200% beautiful, she's 800% beautiful. Will you say like that, or will you give rank? She's, yeah, I'll give first rank to her, I'll give second rank to her, I'll give she gets first in beauty. Will you give ranks or will you tell in numbers? 89% beautiful, 200% beautiful. Will you give ranks or will you give numbers? Definitely no. What we do is we just say, we compare, she is more beautiful than her. So in that case we don't use numbers. So certain data are there where numericals are not involved, just we express our feelings. So in that circumstances, those data are considered as qualitative data, or they are also considered as attributes. So arithmetic mean cannot be calculated in attributes. So that is one disadvantage of arithmetic mean. Another disadvantage here is, now let me give an example here. So now the observations are like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. The arithmetic mean will be, that is add all the observation divided by number of observation, that is equals to 30. Now instead of 50, if I consider the number as, instead of 50, if I consider the number as 50,000, instead of 50, if I consider as 50,000, what is your arithmetic mean? What is your arithmetic mean? Add all the numbers divided by number of observation. That means 50,000 plus 40 plus 30 plus 20 plus 10. So divided by number of observation, that is 10,020. So see, if you compare one observation with another observation, there is slight variation. But when I compare 40 or 30 or 20 or 10 with 50,000, the variation is very high. This number 50,000 is considered as out of boundary figure. In simple words, to tell it is out of boundary figure, or it is also called as abnormal figure, or it is also called as extreme value. This variation is not there in all the observation. This 50,000 is only variated in only one observation. 50 has become 50,000, by which 30 has become 10,200. So are you giving accurate result? Can I rely on this number? Because one number changed, the entire arithmetic mean got varied. Can I rely on now? Definitely not. Reliability will not be there, because one, it is abnormal value. So even though when there is abnormal value, arithmetic mean can be calculated, but we can't rely on that because 30 has become 10,000. So reliability is not existing. Therefore, whenever in any given set of observation, if there is an abnormal value, arithmetic mean cannot be calculated. If you calculate, reliability will not be there. Therefore, arithmetic mean is highly affected on the extreme observation. That means arithmetic mean cannot be ascertained in case of extreme observation. This number is called extreme value. So on extreme value, arithmetic mean cannot be calculated. Is it clear? This is the one more disadvantage. And in case of open-end class interval, arithmetic mean cannot be ascertained. Sir, what do you mean by open-end class interval? Now 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and 20 to 50. Now if you observe, both the upper limit and lower limit of each class are given or not given. If you observe the given data, both the upper limit and the lower limit of each class are given or not given. Yes, it is given. In case if any of the upper limit or lower limit is not given, in that circumstances, arithmetic mean cannot be ascertained. This is called closed end class interval. This is called closed end class interval. And what is open end class interval? Open end class interval means, now if I say age is between 0 to 30, then 30 to 60, people of 30 to 60, then 60 and above. 60 and above. Now in this case, upper limit and lower limit is given in the first class. Similar way, upper limit and lower limit is given in the second class. But in third class, only the lower limit is given, upper limit is not given. Therefore, it is considered as open-end class interval. In case of open-end class interval, the best measure of central tendency is median, not arithmetic mean. That is the disadvantage in the arithmetic mean, by which we are learning median. Why median came into existence means, the reason is in case of open-end class interval, arithmetic mean cannot be ascertained. Therefore, we go for median. Is it clear to you all the concept, whatever we have discussed today? So we have discussed the points like, number one, we have discussed, that is in case of unequal class intervals, how to calculate the arithmetic mean. And then we have also discussed about weighted arithmetic mean. When do we use weighted arithmetic mean? When you want to select based on priority basis, and that circumstances weighted arithmetic mean will be used. Then we have discussed combined arithmetic mean, and we have discussed the properties. The property number one is, in case of sum of deviation of observation from the observation is always 0. And the next one is sum of deviation of observation, that is sum of squares of the deviation of observation from the arithmetic mean is always minimum. Then we have discussed change of origin principle, change of scale principle, and we have discussed some disadvantages under the arithmetic mean. The disadvantages are like, it is highly affected with extreme values, and in case of open-end class interval, arithmetic mean cannot be ascertained. So these are some disadvantages of the arithmetic mean. Is it clear till here? Okay. Can we end today's class then? Okay. Thank you all for the day. We will discuss in the next in the upcoming class. Again, you will have my class on 25th. Okay. 1 minute. Let me tell when you have my class. So tomorrow also I have my class, students. Yes, you will get the recorded version, but when you come to the college, I'll share it to you. Because are you staying nearby to Bangalore? If so, means you can come and collect it. Then once you come to the college, you can collect. Okay, bring pen drive. I will share you the recorded version. Okay. College will reopen. Management will decide that. Okay. I am not knowing. Management will decide it. Okay. Thank you all for the day. See you in the next class. I'll share you the calculator.